Good morning students. Here we come up with the embryology of the changes in second week of pregnancy period in embryoblast. So therefore, in the changes in the second week of pregnancy period, so changes in second week and within the embryoblast. Now in the embryoblast, yesterday we had seen the changes in the trophoblast. So therefore, we take this space over here and we start with the same. First, we will draw the entire cytotrophoblast. So this is where, because I need some space for external also, so here I draw this cytotrophoblast, and this cytotrophoblast, please draw alongside with me, it will go very fast. This is the cytotrophoblast here. We are going very fast because we need to first draw the trophoblast, which we have seen already, the changes that has taken place, and here we complete this cytotrophoblast with the help of nuclei. So we are finishing with the cytotrophoblast, and now externally what we need to show will be syncytiotrophoblast, and the syncytiotrophoblast, violet color I have used in the syncytiotrophoblast. So therefore here we'll show only, we are going to show these intervilli spaces very fast. So these all are the intervilli spaces. Please draw these intervilli spaces. And as we draw these intervilli spaces, we will put the maternal blood also in between these intervilli spaces. That is, deep inside the intervilli spaces will be maternal blood. So therefore here we are going to show the maternal blood, and all these things we have discussed in the last lecture during changes in trophoblast. So this is where we show the maternal blood that is present in the intervilli spaces. Now the primary stem villi, which consists of syncytiotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast. So therefore, in the primary stem villi, what we show will be the layer of syncytiotrophoblast here. I'm going to draw here, and later on we are going to draw the cytotrophoblast. So first we show this as syncytiotrophoblast. We are going very fast so that we should be able to finish this before we go to the embryoblast. So this is where we show this layer of syncytiotrophoblast. Here I fill here with syncytiotrophoblast, and here this is the completion of syncytiotrophoblast. Now here what will show will be the cytotrophoblastic cells which will pass within the core of the trabeculae. So therefore the cytotrophoblastic cells here, they are passing within the syncytiotrophoblast. So here I am showing this cytotrophoblast which is passing within the core of the primary stem villi. So cytotrophoblast which is passing within the core here, and then cytotrophoblastic shell of the cell. So outer lining, now here we are going to show that there will be cytotrophoblastic layer here within the outer syncytiotrophoblast. So therefore this is known as cytotrophoblastic shell. So please draw this cytotrophoblastic shell here, which I am drawing. And therefore yesterday we had discussed about the cytotrophoblastic shell also, how this cytotrophoblastic shell developed. And here we complete the entire cytotrophoblastic shell with the help of several nuclei. We'll put the nuclei inside these cytotrophoblastic shells. In the cells of cytotrophoblast, I am putting the nuclei. So this is where our entire structure is complete. Now remember, these are also the cells which I have drawn. This is the cytotrophoblast layer only, which I have drawn here in the form of yellow color. So this is the cytotrophoblast. Now, primary stem villi, which we had studied yesterday, this consists of syncytiotropoblast and cytotrophoblast, and the remaining cytotropoblastic cells, which will be present in the outer layer of the syncytiotropoblast and intervilli spaces. Now, it is time for embryoblast. What are the similar type of changes which are taking place simultaneously within the embryoblast? Within the embryoblast, the entire inner cell mass, which is now known as embryoblast, they will now differentiate the lowermost part, the inner part of embryoblast. So initially, see here, if this is the collection of inner cell mass, if these are the inner cell mass which are known as embryoblast, what will happen will be the inner part of embryoblast, where my hand is there, they will differentiate into a small variety of cells, and those cells here, which I am going to draw with blue color, and those cells which will be known as, here I am going to draw those cells, they are flat or they are cubical in shape, and those cells are known as the primary endoderm, or it will be known as hypoblast layer. So therefore, this is how the primary endoderm or hypoblast layer will be developed from inner part of embryoblast. This is the first layer in the body to develop, the first germ layer. So what will happen now, what you have to note down will be, inner part of the embryoblast cells will differentiate into a lining of cells which will be known as the either flat or cubical cells, which are known as primary endoderm or hypoblast, from the inner part of embryoblast. On which day? On the 8th day after fertilization. So the first germ layer to develop in the human body will be the hypoblast, or it is known as primary endoderm, or it is, according to some books, it is given as primitive endoderm or primary endoderm, but it is also called hypoblast or primary endoderm, from the inner part of embryoblast. Now from the outer part of embryoblast, cells, there will be development of, now here I will rub this embryoblast, outer part, there will be development of columnar variety of cells, long columnar variety of cells, and those columnar variety of cells, see here I am drawing, these are the columnar variety of cells, and these columnar variety of cells will develop into the second germ layer, which is known as the primary ectoderm or epiblast. So here I am going to put the nuclei inside, and the name given will be the primary ectoderm, or it is known as the epiblast. So please note down here, this is the second germ layer, it will be known as primary ectoderm, or it will be known as the epiblast layer. It will be known as epiblast. Now here, one thing we need to note down, as soon as this primary ectoderm or epiblast will develop, it will separate from the cytotropoblastic cells. It will separate from this embryonic pole of cytotrophoblast. This is embryonic pole, this is embryonic pole. So as these cells are developing, they will separate from the cytotrophoblast layer. Which cytotrophoblast layer? The embryonic pole. And as they separate from the cytotrophoblast layer of the embryonic pole, they will create a cavity here, where my hand is there. And the cavity that will be created will be known as amniotic cavity. So naturally, this separation of the ectodermal cells from the upper part of the cytotrophoblastic layer, and that upper part of cytotrophoblastic layer is the region of embryonic pole. As it separates, cavity is created, which is called amniotic cavity. Now here, as soon as amniotic cavity is created, there will be, note down, there will be development of basement membrane in between the epiblast and hypoblast, in between the primary ectoderm and primary endoderm. So therefore, there will be development of basement membrane in between the epiblast and hypoblast cells. As a result of which now, at this stage, there will be beautifully depiction of the bilaminar germ disc. So therefore, this establishment on the 8th day after fertilization of both the germ layers, epiblast and hypoblast, it suggests that at this stage, this is the stage of bilaminar germ disc layer. So therefore, this stage will be known as the bilaminar germ disc. Development of the bilaminar germ disc. The first germ layer to develop was hypoblast. Second germ layer to develop was epiblast. Basement membrane has been established in between these two layers. Now it will resemble disc-like shape. So therefore, it is known as, now please note down, therefore, this entire layer will be known as bilaminar germ disc. It is known as the bilaminar germ disc. This is an important stage. Now what will happen? Now coming to amniotic cavity, after the establishment of bilaminar germ disc, there will be certain cells from the embryonic pole of cytotrophoblast here. Embryonic pole of cytotrophoblast, those cells will become flat. Certain cells are distinguished from the embryonic pole of cytotrophoblast and those cells become flat cells, and therefore the flat cells which are located in the roof of amniotic cavity, here I'll put some nuclei inside, these cells will be known as the amnion. So therefore, now there is development of amnion cells from the roof of cytotrophoblast. So the cytotrophoblastic cells which are present in the roof of amniotic cavity. So if this is the amniotic cavity, this becomes the roof, this becomes the floor. So the cytotrophoblastic layer which is present at the embryonic end, and also the same layer, cytotrophoblastic cells which are present in the roof portion of amniotic cavity, they will distinguish or they will differentiate into flat lining of cells. These flat lining of cells now that have been developed, they are known as amnion. So they are called amnion. And they are present where? In the roof of amniotic cavity. So right now the amniotic cavity is present in such a way that there will be floor which is occupied by epiblast cells, roof which is occupied by amnion cells, and the junction between the primary ectoderm and the amniogenic cells will be known as amnioectodermal junction. So these cells, now here, more and more cells, they will form the amniotic cavity, and on either side, these cells will produce junction with the ectodermal layer, that is epiblast layer, and so this junction will be known as amnioectodermal junction. So therefore here, if I put the nuclei inside and I show that this junction will be known as amnioectodermal junction. Amnioectodermal junction. Please note down this. This is how the either side, the amniogenic cells on either side, they will produce the junction with the ectoderm. So now proper amniotic cavity is created. Now this amniotic cavity will increase in size. As it keeps on increasing in size, always remember at all the stages of development, the amniotic cavity will keep on increasing in size. As it keeps on increasing in size, it will add more and more cells from the cytotrophoblast. And as more of these cells are added, they are now called amniogenic cells. So as more and more cells are added, they will be known as amniogenic cells. More and more cells are added, they are called amniogenic cells. And therefore, this is the proper establishment of the amniotic cavity. Now comes another interesting concept. See, we are going in sequence, we are going in various stages. After this, now what will happen? First we have seen bilaminar germ disc, then we have seen amniotic cavity, then establishment of amniogenic cells, amnioectodermal junction. Now what happens is, it's time to develop here. What will happen will be, there will be differentiation of mesothelial cells from the cytotrophoblast. Which part of cytotrophoblast? Opposite end, opposite to embryonic pole. So this pole is called embryonic pole. So from the cytotrophoblast layer of the embryonic pole, there will be differentiation of the mesothelial cells, and therefore those mesothelial cells will differentiate from the embryonic pole of cytotrophoblast into, here I'll draw blue color, a layer which is called Usher's membrane, and this Usher's membrane will pass on the inner lining of the cytotrophoblast everywhere. As it passes on the inner lining of cytotrophoblast till endoderm, till the hypoblast. So this will pass, user's membrane will pass till the endoderm. As it produces the junction with endoderm, user's membrane, cavity is created. Wonderful cavity. And this cavity which is created will be known as the primary yolk sac. And see how interesting it is. This primary yolk sac is created because of this. Here I am marking down because of, please note down, HEU, users, SERS, users membrane. Sometimes you are asked in 1 mark question answer, what is users membrane? Mesothelial cells which are derived from the cytotrophoblastic layer of the embryonic pole. From there, they will pass in the form of membrane which is called users membrane surrounding the inner side of cytotrophoblast till endodermal junction. And therefore the cavity which is created is primary yolk sac. Primary yolk sac will contain the roof portion, and that roof portion is formed by primary endoderm or hypoblast. Now, please try and understand, there is a little bit of controversy regarding user's membrane. In some textbooks it is mentioned that user's membrane is derived from cytotrophoblast layer, and some textbooks it is mentioned that user's membrane is derived from the primary endoderm. Either way, it is correct, but you can mention this both the ways, that user's membrane may be developed as mesothelial cells from the cytotrophoblast, or it may be an extension of the primary endoderm. So therefore it will play an important role in development of the primary yolk sac. So therefore at this stage we have established the bilaminar disc. The first germ layer to develop was the primary endoderm or hypoblast, second was epiblast or primary ectoderm, and there was development of amniotic cavity with amnioectodermal junction with the development of amniogenic cells. These cells are also called amnion, and there is establishment of user's membrane, and along with user's membrane there is establishment of this final cavity, primary yolk sac. So this is the first half of the development of the embryo in the second week of pregnancy period. Coming up in the next lecture will be the second half, in which we are going to discuss the extra embryonic mesoderm which will develop now after this stage. Thank you very much.